Guten Morgen. It's still barely morning. It is 11:25, and I'm just now leaving that hostel. You see it in the background there. Getting a late start because I got totally caught up on videos and just a lot of stuff. And also, it's the shelters don't really line up very well. So I'm only going to do 15 miles today, 15.4. It just really didn't make any sense to try to push beyond that because the next shelter after that would make it a 30+ mile day, and there's no way I could get out early enough to do that. Plus it's going to be really hot today, so I'll do a 15.4 mile day today. All right, I'm taking a side trail here to the James Fry, aka Tag Run Shelter. It's 0.2 of a mile, but I'm going not just to sign the logbook. It's actually been sprinkling at one point hard enough for me to get the umbrella out, and my Frog Tog rain jacket, which I use as a pack cover in such circumstances, is at the very bottom of my pack. So it stopped raining now, but 51% chance of rain expected later this afternoon, probably before I get to the next shelter, which is my final destination. So I'm gonna get under cover here, get everything out of my pack, and retrieve that Frog Tog. Have it at the ready in case it starts raining again. I can put it over my pack. The James Fry, or Tags Run Shelter. It's bigger than I thought it was. It's got an upstairs. Well, almost half an hour later, I'm still here at the James Fry Shelter. Shortly after I got here, it started raining again, and then the skies just opened up, and it's really coming down hard. Ain't no way I'm going back out in this. So we'll see what happens. If this keeps up for, say, an hour, I think I'm home for tonight. Well, it's like 3:23. So I've been in that shelter for about an hour, and sun is finally shining again, and I'm hoping that's it for the rain. I'm going to the next shelter. It's like 8 miles, and should be there certainly by 6:30. Got a little section of rough trail, what they call a rock maze in the AT guide, so it might be a little slow going, but so we came through that little tight squeeze. This is called the maze, and we're continuing down through here, doing some bouldering. Oh my goodness. See those arrows? We got to go through here. Cool. Oh, this is that iconic spot where I saw a picture with Baltimore Jack. Maine, Georgia. All right, this is the second rock maze. And somehow I've got to get up there. And there's no way I can do this with the phone. I got to put my poles down and pull myself up and over that. Holy cow. All right, it's just after 6:30. Pretty good time for this last stretch since the rainstorm, but I made it to Alex Kennedy Shelter. Let's see what it looks like. Got one person here. It's smallish, but it'll do. It is exactly 8 o'clock, and I am leaving the Alex Kennedy Shelter. It's going to be a hot and humid one today. Chance of rain, early afternoon, late morning. Mid-90s. It's going to be ugly. Oh, add to that, a lot of the trail today is going to be in open fields with a lot of sun exposure. We go through a couple of towns. Oh, I forgot the most important part. Guten Morgen, day 84. This is the last day of week number 12. The AT came out of the woods and opened up into this pasture land. So I understand we're going to see quite a bit of this today. I just came out there at that road crossing into the town of Boiling Springs. So this is a Picturesque little town, looks like. The trail continues alongside this lake here. This is a cute, inviting little town. So I came off the AT there along the lake. And this is the Mid-Atlantic office of the Appalachian Trail Conservatory. Of course it's closed, but it's a nice pack-off break, fill up with water. But post office is right across the street, so a lot of people get packages shipped there. Yeah, I would love to loiter, but maybe go down the street here to the diner, but I think I'm gonna press on and maybe just go for a lunch in the next town of Carlisle. Appalachian Trail is still going through a lot of these farm fields, and the heat is oppressive. And it's like 10 till noon, and I haven't even gone 10 miles yet. Oh man, really slow. It's really irritating because there's so many mulberries and black raspberries that I've been munching on. They're just everywhere, thick, and I'm stuffed with most recently a bunch of really good black raspberries. So I gotta concentrate on hiking. Finally, I'm back in a little bit of shade here. It's coming back out in the field though. But you see, it's an easy trail. It's just, I mean, when I'm hiking fast. It's just, there's a lot of stops. You know, I stopped a little while in Boiling Springs. It's such a cute town. Came across this old cemetery. It's one of the best ones I've seen with 18th century tombstones in it. And it's in good shape. All right, I'm on the highway headed into Carlisle. I'm gonna go to this diner. I don't care. I've done 12 miles to get here in 5 hours, almost exactly 5 hours, which is terrible. But it's hot, and I've been stopping a lot, you know, for berry breaks. And I don't know if I'm gonna make it to Cove Mountain Shelter, the 25.5 mile mark today or not. I might have to stop at the Darlington Shelter, which is where most people are going to be. It's at the 18.5 mile mark. All right, it is 20 after 2 and I'm leaving the diner. Oh, I see Nat Geo up ahead. So I just want to capture that. This is what I'm getting back on. That's actually the Appalachian Trail. You can see the green sign going over this Highway 11 into Carlisle. But I had already crossed it and came down here on the north side. There's Nat Geo leading the way. So I just got on that road that's behind me, crossed the bridge, crossed this interstate, I think it's I-76, and now I'm back across the interstate, back on the trail. But there was a, on the other side of the bridge, there was a little vegetable stand, and I had a cooler in there, said ice cold raw milk, chocolate and white. And I opened it up, these pint jars, $1.25 for a pint of raw milk. Oh, it looked so good, but no one was there, and I thought, oh crap. So, and then this Mennonite lady, you know, he looked like Amish, but Mennonite lady comes up in a tractor, and young lady. So I knew I had a quarter somewhere in my bag, so I dug it out. I had a $1 bill, and man, I hadn't had raw milk since I was a kid, but that raw chocolate milk, that really hit the spot. And I was thinking, why don't I take pictures of stuff like that instead of these stupid, you know, after the fact video snippets? I'm so stupid. I need to capture that kind of stuff in a photograph. I'm sorry I didn't take a photograph of that, you know, of me drinking that milk and that little Mennonite roadside stand with the Mennonite lady behind me. What a great picture that would have been. Stupid. Ah. This is an interesting section of trail on a raised boardwalk. It's not particularly swampy underneath, but I guess it can be in the spring. That's pretty. The lilies. All right, so I came out on the at the site of the Scott Farm Trail ATC headquarters. It's a property that ATC doesn't own yet, but they're trying to buy from the federal government. And I got this trail magic from Blaze of Glory. Yay! And everyone that was behind me has caught up to me now. Hey, just another anecdote here. So I've had Hostel owners and others question, you know, where are all the hikers, the Thru-Hikers? You You know, they think this is the tail of the bubble. It's not. I think the bubble has squeezed. If you think of it as sausage links, you know, well, I'm in a section where, you know, the two sausage links are tied off. So I knew there was a bubble ahead of me, concentration, and there's got to be a concentration behind me based on some Instagram posts that I've seen of huge crowds at certain hostels to the south of us. But anyway, the guy doing trail magic was, I was the first one there out of that group that you saw in that previous video clip. And he said that was only the second one for the day. He didn't think he was going to get anybody. Here it is, about, I don't know, 3 o'clock maybe. And he's just really wondering where all the hikers are. So he said that he was doing magic 60 miles north of here last Thursday, so almost a week ago, 60 miles north. And he saw 61 thru-hikers. So, I mean, that's a bubble. So, in one day, that's unbelievable. So, yeah, that's really weird. I can understand now why hostel owners and others are wondering what the heck's going on. It's just kind of freakish. But that's good for me because, you know, I don't want that competition for resources like hostel beds and shelter berths and, you know, things like that. So I don't want to go too fast and get into that big concentration in a month or so, which at my pace, you know, it could very easily happen. But then again, maybe it'll spread out and disperse by then too. I think what happens is whenever there's a rainstorm or some bad weather event, you know, people flock to these towns, and then when the skies clear up, you'll have several days worth of people pouring out of those towns, creating these little mini bubbles. So I think it's mostly weather driven. I may be wrong, just my theory. Anyway, so on. The AT goes through this tunnel. That's different. Echo! Pretty neat. Well, it's almost 5:25, and I've reached Darlington Shelter. Supposedly in the book it sleeps 5, but it's a lot bigger than that. Let's take a look at the front. All right, this shelter is a lot nicer than it stated in the AT guide. It's, I don't know if you can see there, but it's got bunks on both sides, so it sleeps well more than 5 people. Hell, it sleeps 5 in the center, and then another 4 at least on the bunks. Probably get 2 people side by side on those. Anyway, there was someone here. It's a friend of French Fry, and she just left to go meet her out on the trail. So French Fry's going to be here tonight. And then, of course, Maui and Nat Geo and Scooter and a bunch of other people are going to be here. So I'm going to stay here. It also helped my decision that it started sprinkling a little bit for about 10 minutes. So it's, look at that time. Yeah, it's 15 till 6 right now. So to go another almost 8 miles to the Cove Mountain Shelter, I think there's just no need for it. Either way, it's going to be a Nero into Dungannon, Pennsylvania tomorrow. I already called and secured a slot if I want it at a hostel there. And I think it's time. I think it's time for a Nero. I haven't had a Nero or a Zero since my Zero in Hot Springs. So, you know, I've stayed in hostels a couple times, but I've had full days, full hiking days. You know, I haven't had anything less than a 15-mile day. So it'll be from here, it'll be, I think about a 10, well, heck, it might be a little over 10 miles to get into Dungannon tomorrow. So it might not even qualify as a Nero tomorrow. I might squeeze out a double-digit hike tomorrow. We'll see. It'll certainly be a light day, and that's good. So anyway, I think that's it for tonight. I'm looking forward to a little festive atmosphere tonight. So this is Wagner von Vonderweg. Gute Nacht.